All right, really just going to hone in on a couple of restaurants this week, and I keep threatening to do it, and at some point we will, but we need to come up with our top 5 kind of off the grid, cool restaurants, almost like a triple D, diners, dives, and
drive-ins. Yep.
Locally.
Yeah.
And, talking to our boy Jimmy Falone, he did the piece on Goldens, and Kelly was taking her mother to the airport in Syracuse. And so she's like, let's meet at Goldens. And we did it.
And it is a very cool spot.
Got the experience from owner, employee of the month for
so funny
78 straight months or whatever it is. Jeff is literally the only person there.
And what was the thing with the knife on the wall?
The manager. He's got a hatchet on his wall labeled the manager. Right? So if anyone wants to talk to the manager, he's got that covered.
Yeah.
He takes your order. He does the cooking. He does the cleaning. He is Kelly had, not to get too graphic here, but listen, we're all humans. Kelly had a long trip from Syracuse and had to use the bathroom. There's no bathroom there. So
he sent me over to the VA center, which they're very good about letting his patrons use the bathroom.
Yeah. But my point to that is he was like bummed because he started cooking. He's like, she's going to miss the show now. And it is. It's all part of the experience, part of the show and the conversation. He's been cooking for 40 years. Really unique menu.
Yes.
We didn't go too far outside the box, which I'm a little disappointed.
I'm kind of mad at myself. Yeah. He had a French toast special. I think it was stuffed with cream cheese and like cinnamon or something. And it was like noon. I'm not a huge breakfast person, so I really just wanted a sandwich. And Scott will tell you that I love grilled cheese and tomato soup. Yeah. Sip and dip is what we used to call it in school. It was
the last of like the cold, rainy days.
Right. Weather was not great, and that just sounded good to me, and it really was a really good grilled cheese sandwich. The tomato soup was fantastic, too, and as soon as I was eating it, he said, what do you think? Like, it was cool to have conversation with him.
Yeah. He does it more like almost like a cream sauce, on the lighter side. But too funny, right? He refers to himself as like the soup Nazi. Like he has certain rules, certain things he'll do, and certain things he won't. And one of them is takeout.
No to-go orders.
No takeout. Now, I'm like Mr. Magoo. My wife will tell you, don't follow me anywhere. I just walk.
He walks in a direction and has no idea where he's going. And so I have to tell him, just don't follow him because he has no idea where he's going.
So it's not unlike me to not read signs. And the lady sitting next to us at the counter was on the phone with a friend. She did her order. And then she says to Jeff, well, I think I'm going to put in a to-go order. And he immediately barks, no to-go orders. And he goes, I'm like the soup Nazi with that. No,
and there were signs all over the place. I can't believe that you didn't see them. And then he said that.
He goes, there's 6 signs on the door.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm busy enough. I don't need to-go orders. So it was
I think that's what makes the environment the way that it is, because he is totally immersed in his customers that are in the restaurant rather than preparing food for people that just want to grab and go.
Raw, real, unfiltered.
Yep.
Doesn't care. Unapologetic.
Homemade. Lots of homemade stuff. Like he was out of the yogurt and he makes his own homemade yogurt. The granola, like everything that was on the menu was very unique. I mean, the burger, you had a steak sandwich with a fried egg on it and sausage or peppers and onions. I mean, they're burgers. He put these burgers down and it's a little griddle, probably like, I would say like 2 feet by 2 feet, if that. And he smashes them down. And these burgers have got to be like a third to a half a pound burgers. They were massive.
Garlic parm fries.
Yep.
He's got like what you would bring to an NFL tailgate party for a deep fryer.
Yep.
You can make like one order of fries at a time.
Well, and the fries are homemade. So they are so thinly sliced that it really does not take that long to fry them because they're fresh cut fries.
So I said to him, when are you closed? And he's like, Saturday, Sunday. He's like, yeah, I'm that guy. He's like, but I don't care. He goes, it's my place. I've been doing it 40 years. He goes, I'm here 6 to 2, closed on the weekend. Everyone's like, you know what you should do? And I stop him and I tell him, you know what you should do? You should open your own restaurant. That's Jeff Golden.
Yes.
So it was fun. It was as advertised.
And we outscooped Bert.
And yeah, Bert Doolin, who did do a top 5 list of places that you
Off
don't
the
know
beaten path.
about
Yeah, hidden
that
gems.
you should.
Right.
We texted him. We're like, hey, Golden's been there, done that. He's like, never heard of it. I'm like,
I know.
We got him.
Yep.
Prices too, by the way.
Oh, fantastic.
Super reasonable.
Yeah.
I think the burger was like $14. You know, so if you go there, burger, fries, drink, 2 people, low 30s.
Yeah.
That's equivalent to what McDonald's is going to charge you for a couple of value meals.
We had this conversation there. Like, well, he was grilling one of the burgers, and I was like, at least it's real meat. Sometimes when you go to these fast food chains, you have no idea what you're getting. Some of them. I mean, I don't want to paint with that brush that all of them are terrible, but it's definitely worth the price. And the woman next to us had a full breakfast with bacon, eggs, home fries, toast. It was under $10 for breakfast.
We said, Spina, we got to do like a comparison. We'll go to McDonald's and get a value meal. And then we'll go to like Golden's or Roosters or wherever and get their quote unquote value meal.
Yeah.
Get some video footage of what each looks like, a little price comparison.
For sure.
It's wild to me. I get it, convenience. I get it, national advertising. I get it, kids. But it's wild to me that people still go to fast food.
Yeah.
When there's so many better options. Anyway.
Exactly. One more spot.
One more spot. One Genny, the OG.
Yep. It was really, really nice out. We met for lunch. Our son had well, we can talk about this. If your kids need to get their wisdom teeth out, I'm going to say it again. Dr. Flehan up in Utica. Connor has had quite the experience with his. He's having a rough time healing in one spot, and he has had him in multiple times, and he's going to go back in there and flush it out. And so I'm just telling you that he is fantastic. But anyway, we met after his appointment, and we wanted to be outside because the weather was beautiful. Sun was shining. So we went to One Genny, and they have their patio open. Their drink selection is amazing, like just unique stuff.
So something the audience needs to know about me is I get paralysis analysis. You give me more than like 3 options, my brain shuts down. Yeah. The One Genny menu is like War and Peace. There's like 12 pages.
Yeah.
Like I'm just lost.
Well, that's why, but I think that's why we go there so often, because they have something for everybody. If you cannot find something that you like on that menu, I don't know. I'm just telling you.
I mean,
it's crazy.
The drink menu, they've got like 30 different options, and they've got a whole page of specialty cocktails and seasonal stuff, and they do pizzas and calzones, and then they've got the wraps, and they got handhelds, and they got full-blown dinners. And,
right.
I mean, truly, if you're looking for a diverse menu. So, Jay, what would be your outdoor? So we had Ocean Blue. We had One Genny. You
know where I wanted to go, but it was Monday, and we always seem like we end up out on Mondays, and they weren't open as the Grapevine. Everybody talks about that.
Grapevine
and
Washington
I was
Mills.
it's on Genesee Street, and I was so mad that we couldn't try that out because Connor would love that food. But we were trying to think of other good outdoor places.
Yeah, my go-to would probably be Swifties, Encore. I like the Genesee Street.
Yep.
They got some outdoor seating there. Yeah, the vibe is... it's a vibe.
Genesee Street?
You never know what you're going to get.
I've got to say, sticking with One Genny.
And over where you are, you get to smell the weed, right? So
from the dispensary.
The dispensary. That whole block just reeks of weed now.
But even One Genny, it's nice because they have the outdoor patio area, but then inside they have sort of like a side like dining room where if you're having a dinner where you want it a little quieter, and then the bar is just a great scene if you're watching something on TV and the high tops.
I don't think they're open for lunch, but Portofino is a good little spot
outdoors
to be outdoors for dinner.
Yeah, Tavolo is really good too.
Tavolo, yep. And Babes. They have their outdoor. I just drove by there today, and there's a ton of people outside.
Yeah, Babes is a good setup too, and they
especially
do
if you have
brunch.
Kids.
Yeah, they've got the whole outdoor scene. I think they allow dogs out there,
and they have the huge.
We brought our dog once.
Yeah, they have the huge Connect 4 where if you have kids and they don't want to sit and wait for their food, so
it's that time of the year, outdoor. Let's local plug, right? Brass Tack. He just put the little.
So they have, and they have their whole music. Last week started their music on Wednesdays. Not sure when this is going to air, but I know Justin Smithson is there this week, this Wednesday. And so they have music every Wednesday night. on the terrace, the Vic Terrace. And yeah, and you can go to their Facebook page, Brass Tack's Facebook page, and they have the music lineup for like the next 2 months.
Yeah, music on Wednesday. They're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday now.
They have their clam special on Thursday.
Three days a week.
Yep.
Catch them while you can. Want to give a shout out to Rebecca Smith of Accent Brokerage in Mohawk, talking a lot about our Putts for a Purpose outing. We have a presenting sponsor. And then we have 3 other larger sponsors, and Becky stepped up and offered to be one of those. So Accent Brokerage in Mohawk. Becky's been doing real estate a long time. I don't know how long, but
we talked about her last week when I said if you are going to have a real estate agent, you want her.
You want Becky in your corner.
For sure.
Yeah, if you're going to a knife fight, she's bringing a gun. She's bringing a bazooka. That's how Becky rolls. She won't lose. Even if she loses, she won't lose. But as you know, 50% of the money goes towards a local charity. This past weekend at Pine Hills was the Christopher Newtown Memorial Fund charity golf outing at Pine Hills. And the weather semi-cooperated. They got a little rain early, but huge crowd. We talked to Aaron and Clayton the next day, and they just said it was a long day, like not in a bad way, but just a long day, just a lot of people, a lot of excitement, and for a good cause. So in Becky's case, $1,250 is going to be donated to the Christopher Newtown Memorial. And this is a little bit long, but it's worth reading. On their website, Christopher was a local student here, 15 years old, took his own life, obviously heartbroken, community impact, but by all accounts, those that knew Christopher described him as smart, sweet boy, always there to lend a hand and be a friend. Never would anyone have guessed that he was struggling. And yet that's how mental health works. No runny noses, no fevers, no bruises, no broken bones to point at. And in Chris's sign, there was no external. In Chris's case, there was no external signs of struggle. Many who battle mental illness or health challenges have been conditioned by society to, quote unquote, stay strong, keep themselves together, don't appear weak. And, Christopher was a kind, smart, sweet boy. But now we believe he was struggling and felt that he didn't want to be a bother to anyone. So what this foundation does, their mission is to help families, to help the community, to spread awareness, to let others know it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to ask for help, and in doing so, showing strength. So they are a New York State 501c3 non-for-profit. They partner with the schools, communities, suicide awareness, and they're doing a lot of positive peer-to-peer and peer-to-adult relationship work and encouraging students to seek support if they are struggling. So great local cause. This is really, we're on a mission to raise $10,000 for local charities. We're almost there. And this is exactly, what we had in mind, these types of families, local families in the community doing this type of work. And so once again, thank you to Becky Smith and Accent Brokerage for stepping up and doing that.
Okay.
On to the weekend. It's sunny.
It's sunny.
Warm, and spring fever is upon us in June.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. So let's rapid fire it.
So on Thursday, decided to start out on Thursday. Luke Bryan is at Lakeview Amphitheater. He's a pretty big name, and I wanted to highlight that because I think they'll get a huge turnout.
Oh, yeah, sure.
This Thursday for him.
Great spot to see a show with the lake in the background. We've talked about potentially, we don't own a boat. Chris Jansen, buy me a boat. But we have a friend with a boat, which is even better. And for years, we said, when the moment's right, we're definitely going to see a concert out there. Out there on the boat. We haven't done it yet. Luke Bryan, Friday, Antique Weekend. Bunch of old stuff. The older we get, the more we're intrigued by old stuff.
The cooler it is, because we're old, so we want the old stuff too.
We're hoping to be retro and cool as well.
So this is huge. Bouckville, Madison-Bouckville has their huge week-long antique show in August. But they always do this in June for a weekend. It's Friday, June 6th through Sunday, June 8th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. There's over 400 dealers for antiques, collectibles, like everything. And what's cool about this is it's 12 show fields along Route 20. Parking is free at every show field. And if you go to the website, which is Madison-Bouckville.com, it will give you a map. And what's really cool is they give you a map of all the different show fields, but they also give you tips on where you can stop to eat. If you want to grab a bite to eat, or even if you're coming from further away, they also give you tips on places where you can stay, accommodations.
How far is Ray Brothers?
Ray Brothers, I think,
far,
it's like
right?
an hour away, even
From
less than
Bouckville?
an hour. Well, no, I think it's close to there. It's on Route 20.
So I'm saying, if you're there,
Yes.
that could be a spot.
That is
for
definitely
food.
one of the restaurants
You
along
eating
the way.
there?
I've never eaten there at Ray Brothers. You said that you passed it with the
we
boys.
tried. They weren't open for food. They were open. They had a band that night.
But
And
yeah,
I was with a bunch of kids under 21, bunch of losers.
so you couldn't get in.
But every time barbecue comes up,
Yes.
Ray Brothers comes up, and we're not knocking Brooks,
Not at all.
but Brooks, and I'm not knocking Voss, is a lot like Voss, where I think the hype, the name, precedes it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we've never eaten. We'll have to eat at Ray Brothers. We've never
well, that's what I'm
eaten
saying.
there.
Yeah, we got to check it out.
But yeah, so if you are
Sunday.
looking for some cool stuff and you want to take a ride, Sunday we may. I want to do this on Sunday. We'll see.
Well, you get what you want, typically. Munson First Friday, Pride First Friday, our
Yep.
popular First Friday event. A lot of First Fridays.
They do the first Friday of every
alliteration.
month. They do
Yeah.
an event like this, but this is for
So front lawn, an evening of live music by Pat Tato. You say Tato, I say Tato. The big
think it's
potatoes,
Tato.
Tatos. Art, face painting, snacks, cash bar featuring pride-themed drinks and perfect gifts to show your pride in the museum shop pop-up.
Yep, only $5 general admission. So
Five bones. Can't beat that.
And the funding for First Fridays is by MetLife Foundation. So Saturday, we will be participating in the Amazing Gracie Golf Scramble. Again, another local charity that if you want to golf or you're sponsoring and you don't know a great local charity to donate to, they do a ton for childhood cancer. So we will be at Stonebridge.
Real quick, and we didn't know this until we got to know the Lawton family who founded this foundation. The Make-A-Wish Foundation, you're not eligible. You don't qualify for a Make-A-Wish experience unless you're old enough to remember it.
No, unless you're old enough to verbalize it and
Right,
say what
okay.
you want. So
Yeah.
you need to be like probably 2.5 or 3, like
2.5
talking.
Yeah, so essentially what the Lawtons went through, they lost their daughter before she turned 2, and this foundation helps families in that same boat.
Make
right?
memories
So before
for younger
they're
children.
eligible
Yep.
for Make-A-Wish, they help families with pediatric cancer.
But then Saturday night, you wanna go to the zoo?
I don't know if we'll be in any shape to go. We make our kids drive us home from the golf outing. Very
For sure.
responsible.
Yep.
So then we would need a ride back to the zoo, which all bets are off when we get into the wild after golfing all day at a golf. So,
And we did this once. Do you remember
It
when
was
we
a
went
blast,
to? It was
yeah.
so much fun. If you have not done Wine in the Wilderness,
You
or they
should.
also do the beer one too. I can't remember the name
beer
of that
in the
one.
wilderness.
I don't know if that's
Brewfest.
there. It is. Thank you, Jay. I knew it wasn't Beer in the Wilderness.
Beer with baboons.
Yeah, Wine in the Wilderness is definitely awesome at the zoo. So Scott, if you want to talk about it and give the details.
It's the 25th annual Utica Zoo Wine in the Wilderness. It's Saturday, 6 to 9. And, they have a bunch of different vendors from New York State, wines, beer, liquor, live music from Last Left, which is a great band. There's food trucks, a wide variety of different vendors to spend your money here locally. Obviously, it's 21 or over. Rain or shine, uticazoo.org/wine will give you all the details there. Pre-sale, you do save a little bit of money. Members, $30. Pre-sale, $35 at the door. For the rest of us, knuckleheads, $35 pre-sale, $40 at the door. And if you were a DD, it's $20. I wish it was free. I don't know why you're paying $20, but
Probably because you're
Support the
experiencing other
cause.
things there, like the music and the food, and it's
the
not all.
monkeys are still swinging.
It's not
and
all about the
yelling.
alcohol. And the other thing, for people that have young children or how you are not a member at the zoo, I don't understand it because weekly, the things that I find, they do a ton of stuff there. And to not be a member, if you have young kids, we would definitely be members.
The zoo. Diamond Dogs game. This is on Saturday or Sunday? Where are we?
Saturday.
All right. 5 p.m. So right around dinner time in Little Falls at Veterans Park. Check out the Diamond Dogs.
It's Frankfort Little League night there too. Okay. And so every week they have a different Little League and they have the kids take the field.
And meatballs at the concession stand. How about Puddle of Mud? Now this is a band that I've heard of. I couldn't tell you a song. But
me neither.
Looking at the price, $100.
That's for the brewery pass. So if you read on that gives you early entry into the 1888 Tavern with snacks, all night access, indoor bar. You get the indoor bathrooms.
Okay. So it's like a VIP.
That's your higher level ticket. Like this.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so they have the great stage there where they used to do Saranac Thursdays, and if you don't purchase that, then you have to use the porta potties outside, and that's only $48.
Okay, so for an extra $52, you get the snacks, and you don't have to use the porta potties. I feel like there's a bad joke there, and I'm going to stay away from it.
Okay, good. Let's move on.
I do miss Saranac Thursdays.
Me too.
I don't.
We used to have so much fun at Saranac Thursday. It was just a great.
People ruin a good thing, but they are bringing back. They've got specific events,
and they've got the beer garden there now too.
We gotta get to.
Yeah, exactly. I know they do music there, and they have like beer you can purchase and stuff like that throughout the summer. So we'll try to highlight those events coming up too.
So there you go. And then last but not least, where's the beer hub? Why am I drawing?
It's right on Genesee Street. The old
the caboose.
The caboose thing that we went to.
Yeah. All right. So we're at the caboose.
We're at the
on
caboose.
Genesee Street, the beer hub. This is Spring Bagel Brunch 9 to 1.
Yes.
And they're partnering up with Waken Bagel, who's kicking butt.
They're opening up the shop in the Frankfort Marina. Yeah. So I don't know when they're scheduled to open, but they are huge as far as farmers markets and festivals go. Their bagels are fantastic.
They sell out every time.
Yep.
Our daughter is into bagels now. And where'd I go? I went to ADK. I went to Stewart's. I went to another convenience store along, and nobody sells bagels. So I called my wife after the third stop, and I'm like, let's open a freaking bagel shop.
Oh, well, there you go. But if you want a bagel, go to the beer hub from 9 to 1. They're going to be doing sandwiches, and they have Honey Pot Farms Meadery. Is that how you would say that? I don't know.
Meadery might be.
They have Bloody Marys and wine and everything.
Word.
So they're a local. They make wine and mixers.
Meadery.
Yeah. Well, where did we go? And I got the Bloody Mary with the Adirondack mix. Tocaboca.
Oh.
That's where it was.
And I laugh because, normal people would be like, oh, yeah, that place we got the Bloody Mary.
Well, you don't drink Bloody Marys.
It's like, I don't know. Which Sunday was it?
Super good. So, this could also be our stop before we go to Bouckville. Like, maybe we'll stop and get breakfast. I'll have a Bloody Mary and you can be the DD.
If I wake up in the zoo on Sunday morning, we're definitely going to stop in Bouckville on the way home.
It's right down the street.
So there's your excitement this weekend. Look forward to seeing everyone out there.